Hello everyone, thank you for joining. I am Jisary and I welcome you to my channel where I do all different kinds of creative content. Welcome everyone to 2026. I hope you had a pleasant holiday and feel ready to start into a new year. 2025 was a very exciting year for me, with a lot of ups and downs. Today I want to take some time to look back on what I did, create a list of the best and worst of my creative work, and formulate some plans and resolutions for this year. I am happy that you are here to join me on this ride. Let's go! Let's start with an overall summary of the year. When I started Project YouTube, my only goal was to keep uploading regularly for the whole year. And I created a plan for 6 months in advance with ideas and content. My first video, which was last year's resolution, was quite successful, more than I anticipated. So I expected it to continue like that. But it turned out that I underestimated the power of trends. My resolution video fell into a general trend in which videos around New Year that tackle resolutions are quite popular, and the following videos were not as successful. This was my first big down. The views after the first upload were getting lower and lower, and I got very demotivated from it. But this helped me to remind myself that I was doing this for me. I already forgot to enjoy the process of making content. And after some weeks in which I used up a lot of my buffer that I built, I got back into it and starting enjoying making videos again. In March I had my most successful video, which, funny enough, was just a filler. It was a character design for a rancher girl for my webcomic. And the thumbnail was horrendous, but it garnered the most views of all my videos. I still don't really know how it did this, to be honest, as it remains the most successful video of the last year until today, well, at least in terms of views. After that I tried out many different types of content, using game and movie releases to design something for it, making tutorials and guides, and also doing game project content. Neither the tutorials nor the brand-based content was as successful as I expected it to be. So I learned that only name dropping is not enough to gain traction online. At least not anymore. I didn't expect much from the game project content, but to my surprise, it did perform quite well. Comparable to making content around big names like Hollow Knight. That surprised me, but it also made me really happy as I already was planning to make a video game and make content around it. Around May, I teased my new video game project, only to drop it again over summer due to personal reasons. I wasn't in a good state over summer, which I think my content reflects to a degree. I made videos about art block, designs and redraws that I didn't like, and in general I didn't enjoy the process of making art or content. This all started to shift early autumn, when I made some personal changes and started drawing Fantasy Life I characters every day as a challenge. This brought back my motivation and fun to draw, and my art and videos got better again. Unfortunately, this wasn't reflected in my views, which was again a hit to my overall motivation. However, this time I didn't let myself get too bad. I understood that a lot of the success is also based on luck, mostly around hitting whatever is famous at the moment and whatever YouTube decides to push. I tried to not let my motivation slip and started working on a new game project, making content around it. I also lowered the upload cadence a little to have more time to work on my game while making qualitatively better videos. And as a result, my views and subscribers increased again. Not the same as at the beginning of the year, but at least more than in summer. So, the last 2 months, especially, my content had been a mixture of art and game-based content, and I really enjoy that. Working on a video game and then turning this into content is a process I really like, and I love sharing my game progress with everyone. And this is where I am at now. Before we go into my resolutions for this year, let's look into the best and the worst of my 2025 art journey. Let's start with the worst and alternate between best and worst until we reach the first. Starting with the worst, number 3. the artwork of my Beastmaster design. I created this artwork in a video where I designed a possible new combat class for the Fantasy Life I video game. I think the design is still fine, and I'm sure the class would work mechanics-wise. However, the concept art and artwork that I created, and even the visual design to a degree, was one of my weakest works of 2025. Or at least I don't like it. I don't like the outfit, and the boar looks very wonk. It kinda looks like it has broken bones or something. Definitely a worthy contender for the best of the worst list. Number 3 of the best is the redraw of my Easter Bunny. I didn't expect much of this piece and was pleasantly surprised how the shadows turned out. I think it did a good job with her design, the colors and the pose. I can still look at it and like it. Good job, me. Number 2 of the worst is actually 2 pieces that are very connected. They came out of my Drawing Everyday challenge for Fantasy Life I. And I am talking about Damon and Hilda. To Hilda's defense, I can say that she was one of the earlier pieces, so I didn't have much practice yet. But for Damon, I don't really have an excuse. He just doesn't look good. His design didn't translate well into my style, and the fact that I don't like the character probably didn't help either. He was also a little bit of a victim of my low mood phase, so sorry you two for botching you. Which brings me neatly to number 2 of the best, which are also Fantasy Life I Drawing Everyday Challenge characters. Layla and Shea. Layla was pretty early on in the challenge, and Shea was one of the last ones I did. I think for Shea the practice I had at that point really helped, but their designs in general are very pleasant to draw, and I love their colors and everything. They were just fun to make, and I think it shows in the result. I still like them, and I think I did a very good job. So, number 1 time. What is the top of the worst I did last year? And the crown goes to this redraw I did in summer with a character that doesn't even have a name. Well, it wasn't a redraw. It was a challenge in which I tried to finish an art piece that I created many years ago. And I tried to reuse as much as I could. And I really hate it. I mean, I don't hate it as much as I did right after I created it, but I still think I did a very poor job and should have thought a little more about what I wanted to do here. It was also on the height of my low mood phase, which didn't help either. This was a really easy pick. Let's see if I will create another hate piece this year for next year's list. So, what did I like the most last year? The crown for the best goes to the Sailor Senshi I designed out of the Harvest Moon Grand Bazaar main character. Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar, I mean. It is a shame that the video I made around this has so little views, because I really think that this is a really nice piece of art. I did a good job on the design, and I also think that the art itself is well done. It has a nice pose, coloring, and I think I hit the spirit of the character well, while translating her into a Sailor Moon character. I am happy I can give her a shout out in this video so that maybe more people can see her. The Sailor Harvest Moon. Fun fact, I still have not the time to play Grand Bazaar because there are just so many games to play. And these are the lists of the best and the worst. As I said, a lot of ups and downs. But still, I successfully completed my last year's resolution and uploaded regularly for the whole year. Not only that, but I uploaded more than I originally planned. Doing something for a whole year is quite the achievement in my eyes, so I am proud of myself for doing that. And not only that, but I maintained the uploads through quite hard times for me, which makes me even more proud. I didn't hit all my resolutions though. I gained roughly 100 subscribers over the year. And even though I am super happy about this number and grateful for everyone who decides to spend their precious time watching my content, my original goal was to reach 500. To be fair, I set this goal without any knowledge about growth in social media or any other numbers, so I might have been unrealistic. Or maybe it wasn't unrealistic and my growth is just slow. I don't care too much, to be honest. Now that I reached over 100 subscribers and worked hard to maintain YouTube uploads for a whole year, I am just proud of the achievement, and I will not set myself specific numbers anymore. Who cares? YouTube is a hobby, a way for me to share my journey and accomplishments with other people that are interested in the same topic. I am happy for everyone who wants to join, give feedback, and even more if I can inspire anyone to achieve their goals as well. And this is what I will focus on for this year. Which brings me to my plans and resolutions for 2026. Obviously, I want to continue with YouTube, duh. So I will keep the resolution to upload regularly in 2026 as well. However, I will lower the upload cadence a little of full videos at least. I will more aim to reach one video each month to focus more on the game creation and to improve on the overall video quality. I think my videos got better over the year, but I am not happy with the quality they are at yet, so I want to spend some time to invest into it. And I want to keep the pivot to game-based content. It is still about my journey within the art sphere, and there will be art content, but games and especially my own game project will be a bigger topic in my videos in 2026. The probably biggest resolution for 2026 though is to make constant progress on my video game. I am not sure how I will measure this at the time of creating this video, but I will likely set myself monthly goals, which I'm already partially doing. I will set myself a rough goal for the end of the year as well, where I want to be with my video game. I will not go too much into detail, as maybe not everyone is interested, but let me know if you want to learn more about this, like how I plan, how I create myself a work backlog and so on. And then I will include this maybe into one of my devlogs, or make an own video about it. So, these are all the concrete resolutions I have. Well, at least content and YouTube wise. My personal resolutions I will keep for myself. But I also have some learnings I would like to share with you all that I will also incorporate into my work this year, and maybe they will help you as well. Firstly, as I already mentioned briefly, just name dropping a bigger brand, no matter if movie or game, is not a guarantee for views. Getting your hopes up on that and not getting the results you expect can hit your motivation quite hard. So don't just expect wonders of making a Hollow Knight or GTA 6 video. The bigger a release is, the more content there is about it, so it is also harder to be seen. I will likely still make content about big releases that I like, if I have a good idea at least, but I will not expect the same results from it as I did in 2025. Secondly, having planned out too far in advance can be crippling. Social media is a fast-moving environment, and reacting to trends is important if you want to grow. Having all of your time planned out 6 months in advance takes away the possibility to react quickly. I will incorporate this into my strategy with having bigger gaps in between my regular uploads, so that when something happens that I'm interested in creating content for, I still have the time to do so while having planning security. And last but not least, I learned that doing something for a video feels very different than doing it disconnected from it. I always enjoy drawing, but I enjoy it less when I do it specifically for a video. So, my plan is to adjust my video content to be more about what I do rather than doing something for a video. Well, unless of course I have a very good idea that I really want to make, because this then is motivating in of itself. And this concludes my 2025 review of my art journey and the corresponding goals and plans for 2026. All in all, I consider my art journey a success so far. It didn't go as expected and wasn't even always fun, but I learned a lot and I will keep going. What about you? Were you able to accomplish your goals? Did you fulfill the resolutions that you set out for yourself? And what about this year? Do you have new resolutions? Let me know in the comments. And again, thank you all so much for joining my little journey. It is a pleasure, and I am looking forward to year 2 of our little ride together. I wish us all success and endurance for this year. Let us all stay healthy and comfy until the end of the year.
Ha ha ha.